guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a pick a pile reading to answer any question that you may have where you are hoping for a yes or no answer. So my name's Erin, I'm Queen Bee Tarot. Thanks so much for joining us here today. It was my goal to be able to create basically an oracle for you guys. Many different piles for you to choose from today, and I will tell you all about them, but a quick little intro into this reading. Like I said, it's a yes or no oracle. But the thing is, it's actually somewhat challenging to answer a yes or no question with tarot, simply because tarot does not operate in absolutes. Even though you can look at some tarot cards and say, hey, that's clearly a very joyful, happy card. Or maybe you could say, hey, that's clearly a really, negative or scary looking card. The thing is, every single tarot card has a positive and negative meaning. So, the reading that I put together for you guys, what we are looking at is we have 3 different tarot decks to answer your question. Now, what I chose was the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot to tell us as we start each pile's reading, what is the answer that you're really hoping to hear. Now, the reason I ask that in the beginning of each of these piles is because sometimes what we are hoping for, our desired outcome, maybe we have a huge attachment to a desired outcome. When we have emotions around a question, it is really hard for us to see clearly. Any tarot reader on the planet will tell you that they have a very hard time reading for themselves. And the reason is because once we are emotionally attached to a question or the answer to a question, it's very hard to see clearly because we have a bit of a prejudice. We have a bit of a bias because we're really hoping for the answer to be a certain thing. So the yellow looking card here, this is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. And that's the little cards that we're going to look at to say, hey, what is your desired outcome? What are you really hoping to hear today? To contrast that, we have the Revelations Tarot. This is a very cut and dry, tell you the blunt and honest truth tarot deck. And for this kind of dark blue one, what we've asked for each pile is, what is the blunt and honest truth? So the golden card is, what do you want to hear right now? But in each pile, the darker card is, what do you need to hear right now? The cut and dry truth, the answer to your question. And then final card in each pile is from the Rider-Waite deck, the Rider-Waite Smith. And what I asked for this card for each pile is for your spirit team to come through and share any additional information that you need to hear right now in regards to your question. So just to recap, we've got 6 piles here. We're asking a yes or no question. And the first card is going to tell us what you want to hear. The second card is going to tell us what you really actually need to hear, the truth, the answer. And the third card is going to be a little bit of a message from your guides and angels, just to kind of sum things up. Are you ready? Here we go. Pile number 1 is the blue Kyanite. So I'm doing a different format today here, guys, because I got set up in the sunshine and then it looks like it's going to storm. So I'm going to do my best to show you these stones. This is the blue Kyanite, pile 1. Pile number 2 is a blue-green Apatite. Pile number 3 is a moss agate. I don't know if you can see that pretty well. Moss agate is pile 3. Pile number 4 is a rose quartz. Pile number 4 is a rose quartz. Pile number 5 is selenite. And pile number 6 is obsidian. I'm going to go through those again, and so I'm going to invite you guys actually take a quick second and take some deep breaths. As you think about your question, it's a yes or no question, take some really deep breaths. Try and clear your mind, clear your body, clear your belly. Maybe if you can, close your eyes, put your feet flat on the ground. Take some nice deep breaths, and I'm going to show you these piles one more time. Pile number 1 is the blue Kyanite. Got a lot of blue-green stones in here today. I don't know how that happened. Pile number 2 is a blue Apatite. Pile number 3 is the moss Agate. Pile number 4 is rose Quartz. Pile number 5 is Selenite. And pile number 6 is Obsidian. So again, take some deep breaths, focus on your question, and underneath this video in the description box, there's going to be timestamps where you can find a link to the pile that you chose, and just choose whatever pile you feel most drawn to. I will see you guys at your reading. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. People who are asking a yes or no question and they chose the blue Kyanite. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s and help me bring through any messages they need to hear right now that are helpful, hopeful, necessary, or relevant. Thank you. Listen. Hi, pile 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue Kyanite. And today we are asking a yes or no question. Now, as I mentioned before in the introduction, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell a yes or no question with tarot. Therefore, I chose a couple of cards from each deck. Now, the first cards that we're going to look at are from the Golden Art Nouveau deck. And these cards are going to tell you what it is you want to hear, what it is you're really, really hoping that I'm going to tell you. Right here we have the Moon card and the Eight of Swords. Now the Eight of Swords represents when we feel like we are stuck in a mental prison. And the Moon card is when we are dealing with a sense of mystery, a sense of the unknown. Perhaps there are secrets, perhaps there is some sort of deception happening, perhaps there's an issue of drug and alcohol abuse. The Eight of Swords is actually a pretty challenging card because when we're stuck in a mental prison, as we can see with this lady, she's kind of tied up, surrounded by swords. It represents feeling stuck beyond stuck, that we truly have absolutely no idea what to do. And she's dressed in red because this is a moment of having to claim our space, claim our power, and choose self-preservation above all else. What I can see from these cards is that you are completely lost and that you have absolutely no idea what the answer is, and you're afraid that the answer is going to be something that does not feel good inside of your heart and soul. So I know from looking at these cards that your intuition is telling you one thing, but maybe you're having a hard time believing yourself. Maybe somebody in your life is telling you that you're wrong. Well, I can tell you that you're right. And what you need to do is make a decision that feels good for you. If any decision makes you feel stuck, makes you feel afraid, then it's not the right decision for you. So the harsh truth that you need to hear, the blunt and honest answer, is coming to you from the Revelations deck here. We have the King of Swords and the Six of Wands. When you asked your yes or no question, this is kind of a double answer. And this is why I pulled multiple cards from each deck, because I knew that this was not going to be an easy black and white kind of answer. The answer to your question, if you asked something in relation to, is this person good for me or bad for me? The answer is that this person in your life is bad for you. If you asked a question in relation to, am I making the right decision by leaving? Yes, you are making the right decision by leaving. If you asked a question in relation to energy or vibe, you need to know that whatever energy, whatever vibe you're picking up on, you're correct about it. If somebody is making you uncomfortable, there's a really good reason. If somebody is making you feel really safe, then that is something to really pay attention to. Overall, looking at these cards, you guys, I would say that this is a hard no. But like I said, I really want to put it into context. There's some negative cards here associated with staying and tolerating your situation. So that's a big no. That's a big, oh my goodness, please empower yourself. Over here, we have two cards that illustrate movement, action, paying attention to somebody's energy, not their words. If you're asking a question in relation to is somebody being honest, the answer is no. If you're asking if somebody is saying something to manipulate you, the answer is yes. The King of Swords here represents using your words or using your power to manipulate or control or dominate a situation. And the Six of Wands promises victory and success when we are mindful of our energy, when we pay more attention to somebody's energy than their words. I hope that helped. We have two more cards from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck here. Wow. Okay, we have the Four of Wands, which is a big fat yes card, and we have a Tower card, which is breakups, breakdown, trauma, crisis, feeling like everything is falling apart. Okay, if you asked a question about am I being abused or is this person's behavior abuse, the answer is yes. If you asked, should I break up with this person? Should I leave this person? The answer is a big, big yes. Run far, far, far away. Definitely with the Six of Wands here and the Four of Wands here, everything comes down to fire. If you feel like you're being burned, that's valid, that's real. And paying attention to any times that you feel safe or unsafe is a really big message here. Your guides and angels want you to know that whatever it was that was being built up and it feels like it's with a person, it is a negative, toxic situation and it needs to be torn down to the ground. I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question, you guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you liked your reading today. And if you have any questions or suggestions as to reading topics in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know. I'd love to cover your questions. Have a great day. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s, the pile that chose the blue apatite stone. They are asking a yes or no question. Please help me to bring through any messages that they need to hear right now that are helpful, hopeful, necessary, or relevant, and in their highest good, and the highest good of all involved. Thank you. Blessed be. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue apatite stone today, and today we're going to be trying to answer a yes or no question for you. But like I said, the tarot is kind of funny with yes or no questions. It's definitely going to be a little bit more involved than that. So to start things out here, we have the Golden Nouveau Art Tarot deck, and this deck is answering what is it you really want to hear right now. We have the Eight of Cups, which represents choosing self-preservation and walking away from a situation that is simply draining our life force. There's something about putting your heart and soul and energy and love into a person, into a situation, and then coming to the realization that either your heart isn't into it or it's clearly not going anywhere. Maybe it's not healthy, maybe it's not what you expected, maybe the love is gone, maybe the thrill is gone. But this is kind of a sad card of realizing, you know what, I'm kind of done here. The Hanged Man card here represents hanging on, tolerating something, surrendering to feeling stuck, and trying our best to look at something from another perspective. So here's the thing, guys. You want me to tell you that it's not over. You want me to tell you that there's hope, or maybe things will change. Maybe the person in your life is going to change. You're hoping because you're still in love, or you're still emotionally attached to this person, to the situation, to this question. That is really what you're hoping for. You're hoping for me to say, hey, yeah, stick it out, it'll get better. But you and I both know is not happening. And it's been over, either in your heart or their heart, for quite some time. There's a sense that the love is gone, the thrill is gone, and it's been that way for quite a while. So let's look at the Revelations Tarot that's going to give you the blunt and honest truth today. The answer to your question is represented by the Empress here and the Four of Swords. So you have grown comfortable. You've grown comfortable. It feels safe. It feels predictable. You are afraid to take that final step and create change because there's a lot of fear of, well, this isn't so bad, or fear of change because you're afraid that you have no idea what the future holds. So there's kind of this whole like, well, maybe I could just kind of stick it out. Listen, if you're over it, if it's dead and tired, sticking around because it's comfortable, predictable, and somewhat safe is not really in your highest good, and it's not really in the highest good of the other people involved. You've been in the middle of birthing a new you and a new world for yourself for quite some time. And the message that I'm getting here is that in a way you're kind of holding yourself back. Maybe you're afraid that you're not capable of creating better change, but what I see with the Empress card is that you are a conscious creator no matter what. And your energy has been kind of projected into the future for quite some time. It's just taking you a little while for your mind and your decisions and your behavior to catch up. I feel your spirit 10 steps ahead already. But there's a lot of red showing me this sense of conflict, this sense of feeling stuck, feeling stagnant, and not knowing what else to do. The answer's been staring you in the face the whole time. If you're asking, should I leave or should I make this change? The answer is yes. If you're asking, should I stay? The answer is, it's always going to be your choice, but there are better things ahead for you. This feels like a yes in the sense that these are very clearly yes, but what you wanted me to say was no, and I can't say that. That would be blowing smoke. You know what I mean? The blunt and honest truth is a yes. This is what needs to happen. You need to do this. You need to create change. You need to birth a new reality for yourself. Final piece of advice, final input from your guides and angels today comes to you from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And we actually have 2 10s. And you know what? This is actually really significant because in the tarot, the number 1, represented by an ace, represents new beginnings. And in every suit, for every element, we count from 1 all the way through to 10. And when we hit 10, that means ending. That means done. That means this chapter is over and we're about to start a new chapter. So even though when something ends, it feels sad, there's always going to be an element of grief involved, especially if you are, I feel you emotionally invested. I feel that this matters to you, and it's not going to be an easy thing for you to walk away or let it go or make that change. But I'm seeing your guides and angels know that you're ready. Mentally, You've hit your breaking point, you've hit your limit, and it's time for a new dawn to rise. You've been in like the dark night of the soul, perhaps. Maybe you've been feeling cloudy or lost or just aimless or without direction. Maybe you have been completely conscious of being stuck in a loop or stuck in a rut. The Ten of Wands says that in a lot of ways you've been going la 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 and really not wanting to look at your situation. You've been distracting yourself. You've been filling your life with stimulation. You've been doing anything and everything to avoid really looking at this situation. So the answer is yes, that it needs to end. And I hope that makes sense. This is a clear representation that whatever you're asking about, it's over, it's done, and it's time for change. You just don't want to look at it and you don't want to see it, but eventually the truth is going to set you free. So whenever you're ready, you can close the door on this chapter. I hope that helped. I hope it resonated. If you liked your reading, please like and subscribe and follow for all my future videos. And if you ever have any questions or suggestions for readings in the future, please don't hesitate to comment or reach out privately. Have a great day, you guys. Bye. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. The pile that is asking a yes or no question, and they chose the moss agate stone. Spirit team, please tap me in with absolute clarity to my pile number 3s, the collective, and whatever it is that they need to hear right now. Anything helpful, hopeful, necessary, or kind to help them on their highest path as they go towards the light. Anything relevant, anything for their highest good, please bring it through me. Thank you. Blessed. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Whoops. You picked the moss agate stone, and today we are looking at a yes or no question. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, it's actually quite challenging to answer a yes or no question with the tarot, especially if there is no context. So what we're doing is we're creating context. We are using the Golden Art Nouveau deck to look at what you're hoping to hear. The Revelations Tarot is going to tell you the blunt and honest truth, the answer to your question. And the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is going to give us a little bit of final feedback or input or guidance or advice from your higher self, your guides, and your angels. So are you ready? Here we go. Wow, okay, so in the Golden Art Nouveau deck, what we have here is the Six of Swords, which represents an improvement in mental health. That the worst is behind you, things are getting better, and if you continue the momentum that you are currently on, things will continue to get better, which we see represented here by the Queen of Swords, representing mastery of the logical and mental realm. So whatever it is that you guys have been doing for the last little while to improve your mental health, to leave behind any situations that are either toxic or unhealthy or simply bringing you down, and maybe you've even self-isolated a little bit. Maybe you've recently come out of a breakup. Maybe there's a sense of emotional isolation as you have created a safe bubble around you and your life. But honestly, this is not blowing smoke at you, you guys. This is the blunt and honest truth. I look at this and I see actually what you want me to say is you want me to confirm that you're on the right path. And I can honestly tell you, you are. You're on the right path. Whatever it is you're doing, keep it up. Blunt and honest truth from the Revelations deck here. We have the Ten of Wands, which represents an energetic sense of overwhelm. And the Knight of Wands, which is carrying our energy forwards. Maybe we're traveling, maybe we're adventuring, maybe we're being creative. Definitely high fire energy here. So the blunt and honest truth is that even though You are doing amazing. You're making heaps of progress. You're doing really, really good. There's still some really uncomfortable truths that you haven't quite faced yet. So, the blunt and honest answer is that there's something you're not seeing. And there is an energy of you getting swept up with this excitement, or maybe you're being swept off of your feet. The blunt and honest truth here is that you are somewhat blind to whatever needs to happen. If you asked a yes or no question, you are walking an uphill battle. If you continue positive momentum, the answer is yes. If you continue making choices that you know are wise and in your highest good and supporting continued mental health and continued focus on being as clear as you can with your intentions, with your communications, and being healthy as you can with your headspace, then those are all yeses. However, okay, sorry, I just needed to stop there for a second because my guides were coming through and telling me about something that I hadn't really considered. They're saying that some of you guys are in school and you are getting an education, or maybe you are learning on the job. For those of you that are learning a new skill set, maybe you are knee deep in school books or trying your best to absorb new information, either in a formal setting or informal setting. And there's a part of you that's going, oh my God, I can't do this. There's a part of you that's going, wow, this is way more work and way more effort than I ever thought it was going to be. I'm here to tell you that it's worth it. So if you're asking, should I stay in school, or should I continue this learning path? Should I continue this mental health path? Whatever it is for you as an individual, the answer is yes. That even though you feel intimidated right now, even though you don't know what your next best steps are, even though you don't quite see the light at the end of the tunnel, or you're having a hard time seeing yourself as someone who would eventually get to the finish line. Maybe you're afraid that you can't accomplish your goal. Maybe you're afraid that you don't have what it takes. I'm here to say, do it. Keep up the good work. Hang in there. Keep taking one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Don't give up. Whatever path that you're on, even though it's hard, even though it is really, really challenging for you, at the end of it, you're going to be insanely proud of yourself, and you're going to be so freaking glad that you stuck with it. 100%. You are on the right path. At the very end here, we have some final little bits of advice from your guides and angels, brought to you by the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We have the 7 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Cups. So the 7 of Wands here, we have somebody kind of at the top of a hill, and they're using a stick to fend off all these other people. You probably can't see the detail from there, but this person is actually straddling what appears to be a little bit of water coming over the rock, like there's a little stream, and he's wearing 2 different shoes, indicating that he has been rushed into something. The 9 of Cups represents creating on your own a sense of self-satisfaction, like feeling like you're the luckiest person in the world, or feeling like all your wishes have come true, that you feel so happy with what you created on your own. Here's what we see is if somebody else has an opinion about what you're doing, and it doesn't vibe with you, to tell them to F off in the nicest way possible, if being nice is called for. But what I'm seeing here is that somebody's raining on your parade. Somebody is making you doubt yourself. Maybe you're making you doubt yourself. Maybe you are your worst enemy. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. Maybe you're that 40-year-old student at the college thinking, oh my God, I'm so out of place. Stay. Stick it out. You're going to be so very proud of yourself for finishing this. If anybody is making you doubt your truth, they are wrong and you are right. The 9 of Cups says trust your intuition, Trust your intuition 100%. Keep following your dreams 100%. This feels like a solid yes. It feels like stick with it. But I really want to be clear, if you were thinking about quitting whatever path you're on, that's a no. If you're thinking about, is this worth it? Is this path that I'm on going to be worth it? Is it going to pay off? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's going to pay off in spades. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for all my future videos. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, any topics for future videos, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks and have a great day. A lot of those. Okay. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. The collective of my pile number 4s who asked a yes or no question and they chose the rose quartz stone. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s and any messages that they need to hear right now for their highest good and the highest good of all involved. Please help me to be crystal clear, breakthrough, anything helpful, hopeful, necessary, or relevant to help them on their highest path as they go towards it. Thank you. Blessed be. Hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose the rose quartz today, and today we are looking at an answer to your yes or no question. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, it is actually quite challenging to say black and white, yes or no with the tarot. So what we've done is we've created context. I have chosen multiple cards from different decks to give us a well-rounded perspective to your answer. And what we're going to start with here is the Golden Art Nouveau deck, and this is what it is that you want me to say to you right now, the answer that you're really hoping to hear. Here we have the Chariot representing self-propelled action and the kind of beautiful action that comes from being humble but also responsible, taking responsibility for our choices, taking responsibility for the direction that we're going in, acknowledging both shadow and light, and moving forwards with a sense of balance within ourselves, understanding of ourselves, understanding our motivations, and being clear about the direction that we want to go in. And the Four of Pentacles here is about financial and material stability, also stability with our health. But when we see this person pictured and they're clutching this pentacle to their chest and they've got 2 more underneath their feet, 1 at the top, what we see is somebody who has manifested or created by their own efforts, or otherwise, somebody who has created or manifested stability. That your health is stable, your money is stable, but there's a fear of loss. Maybe you've never had money before, or maybe you've never done whatever it is that you're doing right now, and this feels new to you. You almost can't trust the peace. You almost can't hardly believe that these good things are happening to you, and you're like, oh my God. So there's a bit of hesitation, but these are quite positive cards. Let's look at the Revelations Tarot. We're going to get the blunt and honest truth about your situation here. We have the High Priestess representing intuition, knowledge, and receptivity. And we have the Nine of Wands, which is being guarded but wise with our energy, picking our battles wisely, keeping our fire in check so that we don't inadvertently burn anyone, but definitely a sense that you're war weary, that you've been through some ridiculous stuff, and like I said, I'm definitely getting this vibe that you're afraid to trust the peace. Here's the thing, things are actually really, really good for you right now, and things are going to continue being good for you as long as you protect your peace and trust your gut. All of the hard work that you've done, like you've worked your butt off to be in this good position right now. So first off, I want you to give yourself a big high five and a big pat on the back and be like, F yeah, I'm awesome. I did this myself. Now, because of all the crazy stuff that you've been through, because of all the ways that you've struggled and struggled and struggled in the past. I know that you're afraid to trust this newfound peace, this newfound abundance. Maybe this is the first time you've been really, really healthy. Maybe this is the first time you've ever had your own home or your own vehicle. Maybe this is the first time you've lived on your own because you've had crappy relationships. All that work that you've done has paid off. And even though you might occasionally be diverted on an occasional side quest or a little bit distracted or maybe a little bit triggered sometime, the fact of the matter is that you're on the right path. You've done heaps and heaps and heaps of work of healing. This is a big fat yes for you guys. Yes, things are getting better. Yes, you can trust the peace. If your intuition is telling you to be guarded about someone, your intuition is correct. If you are in the company of someone, or maybe you've received a job offer, maybe you are thinking about buying a vehicle, everything about these cards is saying definitely trust your gut. If your intuition is telling you that this particular situation or this particular person is a bad idea, then I'm here to say that your intuition is correct. If you are asking, is this peace going to continue? Is this good income going to continue? Is my abundance and prosperity, my good health and all these things going to continue? That's a big, big yes. But your guides and angels really want to be clear that every now and then you get a spidey sense, either about something or someone or a situation, and your guides want you to know that you can definitely trust your intuition. So I'm going to scoot these over and we are going to look at the Rider-Waite deck. Now here's what's interesting. I only intended to pull 2 cards from each deck, and for you guys 4 came out. We have 2 kings, the King of Wands and the King of Cups. We have the Empress and the Page of Wands. Again, I see that you've worked really, really hard to get where you are, and in some ways you've kind of isolated yourself. But at the same time, you've made heaps of progress with self-love, self-confidence, like a great deal of healing. There's a part of you that craves connection. There's a part of you that feels alone and really wants to test those waters, but you haven't made that first step yet. I also have an indication that for some of you, you are thinking about traveling. Again, you haven't quite put plans into place, but it's something that you'd like to do. Your guides and angels want you to know that you have this sorry about my neighbor's dogs. You guys have an uncanny BS sensor. You can see right through somebody's exterior, and you can tell if somebody is full of fake confidence or if somebody is full of humble confidence. When you potentially pick up on somebody hiding things, you are correct. If you pick up on somebody being a narcissist, you are correct. You have created the most beautiful, beautiful, healthy, healthy life by yourself, and your guides and angels just want you to know to be really, really picky. Now, the other thing that they're saying is that where your attention goes, your energy flows. So just kind of keep in mind that if I said to you today, go look for a blue truck, then for the rest of the day, you would be noticing blue trucks. But if I hadn't said anything to you, you wouldn't be thinking about blue trucks. So if we get something in our head, and maybe we're in a certain mood, and maybe we're feeling a certain vibe, then everywhere we look, we're going to see that reflected to us. So if you are out in a situation, maybe you're surrounded by people, maybe you're thinking about a job, and you're picking up on a vibe that you are very, very clearly not projecting, that you genuinely picked up on something out of nowhere, then that is real. You're not projecting it. I hope this makes sense. I'm feeling that a lot of you chose this pile, and I feel like there's some serious questions about whether or not you can trust somebody in your life. It feels like somebody that you just met. Again, I want to just kind of convey that your guides and angels are saying overwhelmingly, if you feel guarded, then your spidey sense is picking up on a red flag that your brain can't identify. Don't wait for your brain to give it a label or give it a name. If your spidey sense is going off, run. You can figure it out later. Trust your gut and don't worry about explaining yourself to anyone else. The peace of mind that you have right now was hard won. Don't sacrifice it just because you're craving some human connection. Make sure that the people in your life are vetted. Like, be picky about who's allowed in your life. So I hope that helped. I hope that resonated with you guys. And I just want to make sure that I said everything that I was supposed to say. Spirit team, is there anything else that you guys would like me to add here? Okay, they're saying that for some of you, there are many times that you don't act on your intuition because somebody in your life is making you feel like it's silly or that you're weird. If you're about to go on a trip and you just have this intuition that maybe you should get your brakes checked before you travel, please do it. A huge part of how I work with my guides is that I create a peaceful headspace so that when random intuition and random messages come through, I can recognize them right away. The other day I was going somewhere and my guides made it really clear to me that I needed to bring my first aid kit. And then when I arrived at this place, somebody immediately needed first aid. So whatever messages you guys are getting right now, it's really important that you listen to them and you trust your gut. And if you have somebody in your life that makes you feel like you have to hide your intuition or makes you feel like you have to hide your emotions, because maybe they call you too sensitive, maybe they call you too weird, your guides and angels want you to, number one, put up some sort of boundary to protect yourself. You don't need people like that in your life. And number two, always, always, always trust your gut. You are more right than you have any idea. Your guides and angels are like, whoa, now you are bang on. You're not imagining things, you're not projecting things. Okay, that's all I've got for you guys. Make sure to give a like and a thumbs up and subscribe for all my future videos. And if you ever have any topics or any questions that you'd like me to cover in a video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below or reach out privately. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 5s. The collective of my pile that chose the Selenite stone to answer their yes or no question. Spirit team, please tap me into the collective of my pile number 5s and help me bring through with absolute clarity anything that they need to hear right now for their highest good and the highest good of all involved. Please help me to bring through anything helpful, hopeful, necessary, or kind. Thank you. Bless. Oops. Okay. Hi Pile 5, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the Selenite today, and today we are going to try and answer a yes or no question for you. And I say jokingly try because tarot is kind of funny about it doesn't deal in absolutes, it doesn't deal in black and white. So what we've done to create as much clarity as possible is we have created context. We're going to look at what it is that you really want to hear today, what it is that you really need to hear today, the blunt and honest truth. And we're also going to be looking at any final advice or input from your guides and angels. Are you ready? So for what you really want to hear today, we have the Golden Art Nouveau deck. We have the 10 of Swords here, representing that you have hit your limit with something, that your stress has taken a physical toll, or perhaps somebody has just kind of broke the camel's back by laying on another, some sort of insult, some sort of injury, some sort of sense of being stabbed in the back. So either you are overwhelmed and stressed because of somebody else's behavior, or you are overwhelmed and stressed because of your life, because of your situations, or maybe even your behavior. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, another 10, and we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups represents mastering your emotions by simply either ignoring them or disassociating from them. Maybe you have isolated yourself from other people, and maybe that isolation is not by choice. What you're hoping for me to tell you is that if you just keep on keeping on, things are just going to automatically get better. I can't really tell you that. The situation that has now become intolerable is yours to change. And if you don't take any kind of lead role of action, of manifesting change, of claiming your space, claiming your power, deciding that you want to be healthy, deciding that you want things to be different, if you don't take personal responsibility for how awful that you feel right now, if you continue going la 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 la, whatever, it's fine, then basically the Wheel of Fortune says that life is going to continue getting harder and harder and harder until you take responsibility. Nobody else is going to fix this for you. And if you are trying to convince yourself that it's not as bad as you think, I'm here to tell you it actually is as bad as you think. The situation has definitely become intolerable. There is an ending, but also a new beginning coming through for you guys. It is time for change. Whatever your question is, it is definitely time for change. Here in the Revelations deck, what we're looking at is the blunt and honest truth. What is it that you really need to hear today? We have the Four of Pentacles representing health, stability, financial stability, but also fear of loss. We have the Hierophant, which is a leader, an authority figure, or some sort of person in charge. And the Devil, which is being stuck in an uncomfortable situation, slave to a job, slave to an addiction, or perhaps feeling really weighed down and chained to another person because of an unhealthy relationship. Again, what we've got here are clear indications that your situation is intolerable. If you are asking, is this the time to make a change? The answer is a heck yeah, buddy. If you're asking, if I do nothing, will things change by themselves? The answer is a heck no. Absolutely not. You are either approaching burnout or you are about to snap. That you've hit your limit and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling dominated, you're feeling like the life is being sucked out of you. And there's definitely an element of feeling like you can't really talk to anyone about it. Maybe you're just not the type of person to talk about your feelings. Maybe you are afraid that nobody cares. Whatever it is, you're suffering in silence, and it is not in your highest good to continue suffering. So whatever it is that you are asking about, the situation definitely needs to change. And the only person who can make that change happen, especially in a way that is going to be for your highest good, the only person who can do that is you, my friend. So let's have a look at any final advice or input from your guides and angels here. Brought to you today by the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We have the Queen of Pentacles representing health and stability, cultivating a life that you don't have to run from. And we also have the Two of Pentacles, which is movement, decisions, change. Now, in this card, in the Two of Pentacles, somebody's really got their hands full, and it's like that feeling of like when we're juggling a whole bunch of things in our lives. Sometimes we fill up our lives and make ourselves busy because we can't bear to be alone, or maybe we just don't want to be alone with our thoughts. In the background of this card, we have these really choppy waves and boats just being tossed around in those waves. So whatever it is that you've got your hands full right now, maybe you're just working so hard and every time you make a dollar, it goes in one hand and out the other. Maybe you're distracting yourself from a truth that you don't want to admit. Whatever's going on, your emotional health is suffering. So definitely there's a sense that you got to put something down. You got to put something down. You got to take a break of some sort and turn inwards. The health that you crave is within your reach. The prosperity, the abundance that you crave is totally within your reach. You can manifest anything you want. And if you've been made to feel like you have to depend on another person, or maybe you've been made to feel like you have to stay in a job that you're absolutely miserable at, you have more power than that. When I see this Wheel of Fortune, it's definitely an indication that it's either choose your life or life is going to choose you. If you don't get behind the driver's wheel, then somebody else will. And at the moment, I can tell that you are very, very not stoked on the direction in which things are going. So this is definitely an opportunity for you to make a decision, make a movement in the direction of being healthy. If that means going things solo, absolutely. If you're thinking about starting your own business and quitting some sort of soul-sucking job, absolutely do it. If you're thinking about leaving a relationship that's horrible and toxic and stressing you out, the answer is yes, definitely do it. And like I said, if you're asking, oh, are things going to get better on their own? The answer is absolutely not. Not going to happen. Things are going to continue being exactly how they are unless you do something about it. So it's time to free up your hands and really, really tune in to your emotional health. Your heart is trying to tell you something and you can't ignore it forever. Well, guys, I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. If you have any follow-up comments, if you want to make a suggestion for another video, if you have any ideas like that, don't hesitate to reach out. I love hearing from you guys, and I love having suggestions for topics of videos. So have a fantastic day. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Spirit team, please tap me into my pile number 6. The collective of my pile number 6 chose the Obsidian stone. Asking a yes or no question, please help my group move through anything helpful, hopeful, necessary, or relevant to help them on their highest path as they go towards the light. Please help me to see clearly, hear clearly, understand clearly, and translate clearly messages from Great Spirit and my spirit team. Thank you. Hi Pile 6, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the Obsidian stone today, and today we're going to be looking at today we're going to take a look at 3 different decks to answer a yes or no question. Why on earth would I choose 3 different decks to answer a yes or no question? Well, it's because tarot is infamously bad at being black and white. Although there are clearly some very negative cards and very positive cards, honestly, every tarot card has both positive and negative meaning. So what we're doing is we're using 3 different decks to look at this from 3 different ways and put your question into context, which is the best way to get a clear yes or a clear no. So the first thing we're going to be looking at from the Golden Art Nouveau deck is, what is it you're really hoping for me to say today? What is the answer that you're really hoping to hear? We have the Ace of Cups representing an overflowing heart, that there's a lot of emotions coming through, and it feels like a beautiful, glorious new beginning for the expression of your heart, the flowing of your emotions. The Hierophant here represents authority figures, but also quite specifically and usually a religious authority figure, like a pope or a priest. And I'm being told right now that there is a question about marriage. You guys want, some of you guys are asking, is this person going to propose to me? Or am I going to marry this person? Or is this person that I just met the person for me? Clearly, whatever you're going through right now is a sense that you are experiencing some really strong emotions and you would like to make it official. I'm also being told that there are some of you that are wanting to step into a position of authority. Maybe it is in a traditional layperson sense, not at all religious. but a position of authority like management or leadership in a profession. And there is an emotional connection around the desire to be a leader, that you feel really strong emotions, like it's something that you feel called to do. So let's look at the Revelations Tarot and see what the blunt and honest truth is about your situation. Ooh, we have 4 cards here. I didn't realize we pulled 4 cards. Holy moly. We have the Queen of Wands representing mastery of the element of fire, but with receptivity, not forcefulness. We have the Queen of Pentacles representing mastery in the realm of earth element, also with receptivity and not forcefulness. We have the World representing coming full circle with a clear understanding that there's a level of completion happening here. And the Strength card. Holy smokes, you guys. Of all the piles that I've done today, this is the only one that is an F yes. F yes, you guys. This is an absolutely yes, yes, yes. This looks positive. Maybe you were worried that there was something you were missing. Maybe you were worried that you were wrong either about this person or this job or this opportunity coming through for you right now. But this is an opportunity to really shine in a position of leadership. This is an opportunity to feel like really, really comfortable in your skin, whether it's being charismatic or being sensual, being in the spotlight, being a leader. Yes, yes, yes. Really, really, really awesome opportunity for you. And what I'm being told is that, like I said, with these 2 queens, you're not forcing your way through here, that this is something that you have humbly manifested. Perhaps you made a spell or a wish or a manifestation. This is you achieving and bringing in that which you manifested. If you were manifesting the perfect job, or like I was saying earlier, you feel like you've met your soulmate or like your person in this lifetime, yes. And you've done so without overpowering anyone. This is not ego. This is not anything shallow. This is real. This is valid. This is genuine. And this is special. Really, really special. Queen of Pentacles, I do want to talk about this one really quick. She does represent fertility. If you are not trying to reproduce right now, this would be a wee bit of a warning to, use protection. Just have to throw that out there, guys. But the Queen of Pentacles also represents being presented with potentially a snap decision. Maybe you are somebody that typically takes things really slow, but that all got thrown out the window when you met this person and you're like, oh my God, I know deep down in my bones that this is the person for me. Right? So whatever it is that you are throwing caution to the wind and really wanting to throw yourself, mind, body, and soul into, this is a solid yes, you guys. This looks absolutely amazing. The Strength card says, number 1, that this is a strong decision, a strong direction, supported by your highest path, and manifested because you have achieved self-mastery. Again, this message of you are not trying to control anyone. You are only controlling yourself, living your best life. You are healing, you are growing, and you are shining like the sun. Holy smokes. The World says that whatever former negative chapters that you had have reached a place of completion. Maybe you just finished school. Maybe you just finished, working your way up the ranks in a particular job so that you could take that position of leadership. Maybe you have finally closed a chapter of dating all the wrong people and you have finally met the right person. Whatever it is, you've closed a chapter, but in the most healthy, positive way possible. This is a solid, solid yes, you guys. Really cool. Final cards I have to give you just a wee bit of closing advice and input from your guides and angels, brought to you by the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We have the Chariot, representing action that comes from humble self-awareness, that you have balanced both the dark and the light within you. And from a place of balance and equanimity, you really are walking your highest path. Excuse me. You are going in a really, really positive direction. 7 of Cups definitely indicates that either you are having to kind of narrow down priorities. Maybe you've got a lot of choices in front of you. Maybe you have just gotten a degree and you're trying to choose, okay, where do I want to use this? What exactly do I want to do? You're being encouraged to follow your heart and make a choice that feels good, deep in your bones. If you are thinking about some sort of job placement or career future, choose something that feels good, and then the money will follow. If you choose something for money that doesn't feel good, eventually you're going to be miserable and the money won't matter. So choose something that feels good. If you've been having really interesting dreams come through, write down your dreams, see what you can do to see if there's any messages coming through in your dreams. If there's a part of you that just feels foggy with your intuition and you're not exactly sure, maybe you've just had so many bad experiences that you're afraid to trust this sense of peace or sense of love within you. That's okay. Take your time. Take your time, take things one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. There's no need to rush. You are going exactly where you're meant to be. You're going to end up exactly where you want to be. So definitely, there's absolutely no reason to rush. You know, check out the scenery, check out the view, smell the roses, be present here now. If you have just recently completed schooling or training or something that took a lot of time and a lot of effort, make sure to stop for a second and celebrate your win. Celebrate how hard you worked to achieve what it is that you achieved. If you're thinking about going in a new direction and you need a little bit of a pick-me-up or a boost, cheer yourself on, look in the mirror, do positive affirmations, go hang out with somebody who's just gonna be your best cheerleader. You deserve to be celebrated right now. And I definitely feel like you're somebody who's humble and doesn't usually boast about their achievements, but sometimes it feels good occasionally to toot your own horn. So whatever it is that you're feeling, the answer is a yes. If you want to know if you can trust the love, trust the positivity, trust the direction you're going in, yes, yes, yes. Absolutely beautiful, you guys. Well, I hope this helped. I hope this gave you the answer that you were hoping for and confirmed something that you probably already knew in your heart. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can follow for all my future videos. And if you ever have suggestions or questions that you'd like me to cover in another video, yeah, don't hesitate to drop a comment or reach out privately. I love hearing from you guys. Well, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.